Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of my show. You know what it is. We are presented by Passion Park Entertainment as always. I am glad to be back recording another episode of the David Lopez Show. That's right. Been gone for a week and a half, 2 weeks. If you're following me socially, what does that even mean? If you're following me on social media, if you know me in real life, you probably know why I didn't record last week. Big life event happened, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And then talk a little bit about some hoops. Obviously, we're about to start the finals. And I'm also going to mention the newest record that I have that just came out. And that's where we're going to start because that's the announcements right here. So, my new album, The Other Side, comes out July 20th. Well, the big thing we got to announce is the first single, Fourth Quarter, is out now on all streaming platforms. It's out to go listen to, so please go check that out. Produced by me, as the whole album really is. But this record means a lot to me. Now, the music video, which has just some great old school footage in it, comes out tonight before game one of the NBA Finals at 7 p.m. Central. So you can go to passionparkent.com to find that, or you can go to www.thedavidlopez.com and you can find the premiere link for the video, or just hit me up on social media anywhere. I have posted that link everywhere this morning. And it's exciting. It's exciting. So yeah, Fourth Quarter out now. The Other Side, 7:20. Make sure you check it out. I appreciate all the support that we've been getting about this. There's been some nice little words that have been shared back and forth as I've been promoting this, and some people have been saying some really kind words. So I'm hoping this momentum goes forward and this album can really make a splash here for me and for everybody. So for Passion Park, I'm saying Passion Park. Let's get into the show.
David Lopez is the name. It's my show. Welcome to it.
All right. So the reason I didn't record last week, which I don't even know why at the end of the previous episode I said I'll see you guys next week, because I should have known. I mean, everything was pretty much planned, but I guess things can change. We had our child. We had our baby. So last Sunday night, June 27th, my wife gave birth to our beautiful little daughter, Gianna May Lopez. She's awesome. She's awesome. So this past week and a half, we've been, living life with a newborn. We got a new roommate in our house. So adjusting to that and getting used to all that has been an adjustment, but also just been great. She's awesome, and it's an exciting transition in our life, and we're growing as a family, but also just as people every day, just growing, seeing what it's like to raise a child. You know what I mean? Now you have somebody you're fully your responsibility for the next 18 years. But it's been great. I appreciate all the kind words. We've got a lot of love showed to us. Obviously, anytime you post some big thing, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a child on Facebook, you're gonna get more responses than you've ever gotten for anything in your entire life, right? I don't get a million comments and likes on all my posts, especially when it comes to music-wise. But to get all the love that we got when we posted the baby was really nice. To hear from people that you don't hear from that often, or ever really, is cool, because man, people are just genuinely happy when you have a baby. I don't think it's just genuine. It's genuine, and it means a lot. It's cool. It's a fun ride that we're going on. She's a beautiful little girl. So Gianna May. And sticking to the basketball thing, of course there's some influence with getting the name. It wasn't completely named after Gianna Bryant, rest in peace, but that name was floating in the zeitgeist for a while after everything that had happened, and it's a beautiful name, so I'm really happy we went with it. I think there's a little basketball element to it too that kind of I just like personally. But it's awesome. And actually pretty much everybody has been saying two things to us when they see her. It's first of all her hair, because she came out with a lot of hair. And then second off, that they love her name. So I've been great about that. Shout out to my wife. Just beasting through this process. And look, women are amazing. That's really all I'll say to that. It's a crazy experience to be through, and I would never have changed it or traded it in. It just means everything, you know what I mean? And just to see that, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is what life is. This is how it happens. And everything. It's a whirlwind of an experience, but so grateful that we are, happy and healthy right now. And my wife is recovering well. So it's good. It's good. It's all good over here. And I just appreciate everybody who has reached out. So now I am adjusting we all are adjusting our life schedules and just figuring out how this is going to be going forward, how we're going to create, how we're create, how I'm gonna create, of course, and of course I have to say that shit. But just like how we're gonna live our daily lives, like how it's gonna move forward, right? So we're adjusting to that, right? Now that being said, I did kind of plan for this. This is the whole reason. I'll just little tangent right here, like. The big reason that I knew I was going to drop my album this month, and like, I mean, I've been working on the other side for like a year and a half. I mean, at least a year, maybe a year and a half. I have to go through it. Part of the reason that I said I was going to drop it in July, right around, it was going to be my birthday, but now it's like right around my birthday, was because I knew obviously our due date for our daughter was June 27th. So I knew that I was going to be pretty freaking occupied likely for the month of July, you know, raising a newborn and just going through it and trying to do all that. So my thought was, well, if I can get my album done, get all the content done, have it all ready, and have it come out when I'm, you know, really busy with everything else, then I will have all this content. I mean, it's 12 songs on the album, so I'm trying to break it out into having, you know, 12 legit pieces of content per each song, and just whatever. I'm just gonna try to really spread out the release, and while I don't want to not give my current fans new stuff constantly, and I will be. I have more shit, like a bunch more shit. I want to make sure that I get this particular project to new fans that I have not reached. You know what I mean? So I'm going to spend months and months and a long time promoting this album. But the point was, for me, if I could plan it out to have it come out, you know, when I was busy and probably not going to be able to create as much, then I can have almost like a couple month cushion of content and art that I truly believe in that I can push. And hopefully that'll help grow everything while I start to create more and adjust here at home and figure out how much music I'm going to be able to make and whatnot. And the answer to that is a lot. I'm still going to be making a lot of music. So I made a song the other day that I love, that I'm like, shit, this must be the first single after the album. I don't even know. So I mean, that's constantly going on, but I planned it that way. And also, frankly, like I knew having a kid, because I was just saying with the social media stuff, like when you have a kid or you get married, like you get more eyes on your page than you would normally, right? So I'm not trying to like I'm just not, look, take advantage of when that kind of stuff happens, right? So for me, I said to my wife, like, this might sound funny or whatever to some people, but like, I know that having a kid and us posting pictures about her and all that stuff, like I'm going to get more eyeballs on my page. It just is how it works. I mean, the Instagram algorithm is insane. Like if I make a post about my wife and me, like a relationship post, or now it's about, you know, our family with our baby, like, it is seen by almost, I want to say like 3 to 4 times the amount of people just on there. Like you can look at like whose feed it's hitting. It'll hit 3 to 4 times more amount of people than if I post like the album cover, like the fourth quarter this morning. I posted the fourth quarter cover art and said song out now, right? That shit had like 5 likes in like an hour, right? And if you look at like the views on it, it's like super low. But then if you click on any of the other ones, it's like crazy, right? So I'm trying to be done complaining about that. I'm just trying to see the people who are seeing it, right? Because it's not even, this is just how they're fucking operating. This is how Facebook and Instagram are operating, right? So I just knew, I'm like, all right, I'm going to have more eyeballs in general because of the kid and stuff. So, well, I might as well put my best foot forward and have my project ready to go then, because then if you get the crossover, people click on it, I mean, whatever. Don't, like, that was legitimately in my mind. So whether or not that's weird, I don't know. That was part of it. And with that said, crossing into the fourth quarter release, which just came out, I posted this long, lengthy post on Instagram, the backstory of that song, and it really has to deal with growing up. You know, basketball was everything. I've talked about that a lot, but we had this league, right, on my block. I grew up in Jerome Street, Chicago, Rogers Park. Excuse me. We started a league, right? It's called the JBL, Jerome Street Basketball League, and I talk about it in a post, but like it was a 3-on-3 league in my parents' backyard. We kept stats. We had, like, me and my brother were talking about this the other day. We had a trade deadline that we forgot about. Like there was a trade deadline. It was like 11 o'clock one of the nights in the summer, and a couple of the guys went over to one of the neighbors' house and like had to talk to their parents and be like, can we see whatever his name was, and like, because we have a trade proposal right now. We're up against the clock. We need to get it approved by the commissioner in the league. Like, this shit is amazing. Like, it was like we really took it serious. And I don't know how many seasons we had at that league, but I know that one of the seasons, my brother was double teamed. We're in the championship game, swings it over to me. I hit the game winning shot and we won the championship. And then we proceeded to have a championship rally and a championship party. And that's the theme for a lot of the music video and the song. I included some of the clips and some ideas of it. It's so the music video comes out tonight. It has clips from home videos. It doesn't have the exact shot, me hitting that game-winning shot, by the way. And just so you guys know how it worked, we went up to 50, I think, by 2s and 3s. So we had like a point to hit, almost like the TBT tournament kind of thing. But anyways, so the video tonight has a bunch of home videos of that, and then it has audio commentary. My brother recreated that last play call. Him and Mark. Shout out to my friend Mark. They did a radio broadcast play-by-play call of that play and recreated it. And I tried to put it into the song at the end. I mean, I did put it into the song at the end. It's not the loudest quality because, frankly, the quality of it wasn't the best to work with. But I did what I could with it. I'm super excited about it. It's just like this nostalgia that I'm trying to create. Honestly, the whole feeling of the album, like the theme of the album is family, right? And like family and home kind of, right? And the theme of the visuals are home videos and like nostalgia. Like honestly, like that childhood summers. Like that's what this album is. It is like childhood summers, grabbing that nostalgia. At least the second half of it, I will say, because once you listen to it, I don't want to give away too much. You'll kind of see like it's two halves. The first 6 songs of it, I really feel like I'm probably going to promote more during the fall and the winter because that's where I have that feeling. The second half of it is the summer part. The second half of it is the light part, is the sun part, is the go to the beach part. Like that is how I set it up. That's how it's kind of rolling out, and that's how it's kind of happening, right? So it's all exciting. So fourth quarter out now. The other side, July 20th. I can't wait to share more of the visuals and just the rest of the album with you. I really can't. Yeah, it's great. It's great. And with that said, talking about all this basketball stuff, all this hoop stuff, you know, let's transition into the goddamn NBA Finals. Let's do it. So we got Bucks Suns. A couple last podcasts we had, I predicted Suns would win in 5, Bucks would win in 5, and then Bucks would beat the Suns in 7. Suns won in 6, Bucks won in 6, and now we got Bucks Suns in the finals with a Giannis hurt Bucks. I should lead off by saying right there. I'm sticking with my pick, not just because I'm stubborn, but because I kind of could see it happening. The Bucks won Game 7 on the road in Brooklyn. It would be pretty impressive for them to win Game 7 on the road in Phoenix in the NBA Finals. It would be really impressive, honestly. But I don't know. I just have this feeling like it's in there. I don't know if you guys saw that crazy tweet from this guy. In 2016, he tweeted that the Bucks and Suns would play in the 2021 NBA Finals, and the Bucks would win in Game 7, 123-115. I mean, either this guy is Nostradamus or something. I don't know. But if that happens exactly like it is, that's just so crazy. This dude just randomly tweeted this in 2016. Just crazy. Just crazy. But just as like an actual breakdown for the actual series, like Giannis is the key to this, in my opinion. I mean, the Bucks Giannis getting hurt against the Hawks in a weird way because it wasn't structural and it doesn't look like he's going to be out for the series. Looks like he's going to be able to play. Seemed like it could have kind of helped them because it really forced Drew Holiday to be aggressive and for him to have the ball and to bring the ball up every time. And that was a whole new Bucks team. Obviously, we should mention Trae Young was not healthy, so that affected those last couple of games. But I think that Bucks team figured something out. Defensively, they weren't doing that drop shit as much with Brook anymore, and they weren't giving up those like 8 to 10 footers like as much as they were. And they were switching everything, and they were out more. They looked way better. And then Drew just looked like, I mean, that last play in Game 6 of the finals, or the Eastern Conference Finals, the Hawks make this run. I thought Milwaukee was going to get tight there. Milwaukee's winning the entire game, wire to wire. The fourth quarter, the Hawks cut it to 8, and then they looking like, honestly, cut it to 8, and they had the ball. I thought the Bucks were going to get tight. I thought the Hawks had a real run in them and a real shot to steal it. And Drew Holiday comes down, splits the double team, and does a left-handed scoop through 2 defenders that, like, I don't know. That was like a Derrick Rose play to me. Like, I was just like, I know Drew's good, but that to me was so impressive and in such a high moment. And it's a reason that I think that the Bucks can win this series because, like, Chris Paul is going to get his, but Drew Holiday is going to really make it hard on him. And he's whoever you match up Drew with, any of those guys. I mean, he's going to be on Book probably a couple times here, but he's really going to be on Chris Paul most of the time. You're going to have Middleton on Book. I like the matchups. I like the matchups I got a lot. I mean, it's going to be Aiden and Brook. Now, Giannis is how are the Suns going to guard Giannis if he's healthy? This is why this is so huge. If Giannis is healthy, I got the Bucks. I just feel like they can do it. Now, the one thing I was just talking with somebody about is, the report came out that if the Bucks would have went to 7 against the Hawks, it sounds like Giannis would have been greenlit. Great sign for him, right? Great sign. But Game 7 is different. Game 7 of the conference finals to me is different than Game 1 of the finals. Of course it is. Like, it's not win or go home. But it's different in this sense. If Giannis is only 70%, I probably would still have played him in Game 7 if they're greenlighting him, because it's just like it's Game 7, right? But if Giannis is only 70% for Game 1 of the finals, I feel like maybe the right move is you sit him out, you play with that roster that's played the last 2 games that is gelling and really playing well. I don't know if you have enough to beat the Suns, but if you play really well, of course you can. Now you put yourself in a different position. You already don't have home court, right? If they had home court, I think this is a different conversation. But the fact that they're playing in Phoenix, if they can play a really close game or steal a Game 1 in Phoenix without Giannis, now I think you change the series already. I mean, first of all, you steal home court, but then you have the looming thing that Giannis is going to come back. Game 2 becomes a must-win for Phoenix then. I mean, if they go down 2-0 with Giannis coming back in Game 3 in Milwaukee, you're looking at a potential sweep. I mean, you're like, you know what I mean? So I just think that there's something to think about there. Obviously, if he's healthy, if he's 100%, he's playing. He should play. But I think if he's even on the fritz, maybe you consider giving him one more game of rest. Now, game 2 is Thursday, so he would have almost a week and a half of rest, maybe 2 weeks. So maybe he'll be, better by Game 2. I just think it's something to float out there. I'm curious to see. I think he's still listed as doubtful. So I'm going to venture to guess that he's not going to play a Game 1. That is what I'm going to go with there. But the matchups that all stick out, obviously Middleton and Booker, I think is a great matchup. Aiden and Lopez, Drew and Chris. This is an awesome finals because, first of all, I think I don't want to speak for everybody. I'll say in my regard, if either team wins it all, I'll be pretty happy. Nobody on the Bucks has even been to a finals. The Suns, nobody in the series has won an NBA finals, so that's pretty cool. That just doesn't happen. I don't know. I have to look up to see when that has happened last. There's likable guys on both squads. People think, I mean, just the comeback story of the Suns last year, not even making the playoffs, and then you just get Chris Paul, and they had that awesome bubble run, and now they might win a championship. The Bucks, the 2-time MVP, is finally going to get to his first finals. They're crossing over a hump that people didn't know if they were going to make it. Budenholzer, actually a good, he's caught so much heat this playoffs. Budenholzer went from, if he would have lost any of those games against the Nets, and they would have lost that series, I think there's a real chance he would have got fired because of how much shit he was catching and how the questionable decisions he was making. And now, with them in the finals, if they win the championship, this dude's getting a 10-year extension. I mean, you can't fire the first championship in 40 years. You can't fire the coach who wins the first championship in 40 years in Milwaukee here. Like, you just can't do that. So he's keeping his job. It's just funny how things change so fast. I mean, Kevin Durant makes that shot. We're talking this so differently. But it also feels like it could be kind of a changing a guard thing, like in the NBA, with no former champions, none of those names that we remember. This is the first finals in 15 years. My brother sent me this yesterday. It's the first finals in 15 years with no LeBron, Steph, or Kobe. Now, the crazier one is this Shaq one, which I don't know if you've heard. This is the first finals since 1984. 36 years with no teammates of Shaquille O'Neal. No teammates of Shaquille O'Neal, because Shaq had such a long career on a lot of teams. He played with so many guys and so many good players that have made it and had great careers. That is such a mind-boggling stat. I think the chance for that series or for that streak of his to keep going this year would have been if the Clippers would have made the finals, because Rajon Rondo was a teammate of Shaq at one point in time. So there was still potential for that series, that streak to go to 37. It's just mind-boggling. But with that said, it's like maybe we're kind of in a changing the guard in the NBA. All these young guys are really crossing the threshold of success and having a chance to win championships. But with all that said, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if next year's finals were LeBron versus KD. You know what I mean? Or Steph versus KD. Like, I would not be terribly surprised. So I don't think it's a complete changing of the guard. Some of those guys are still around and they're still really good. But this is a really, it's like a fresh look for the NBA. I think people are gonna care. I also just think the matchup is great. I don't have a betting interest or a cheering interest. I do have a betting interest, which I'm going to finish this show up with some of the bet stuff. But I don't have a preference. Like if either team wins, it's great. I just want a great series. I would love 7 games, and I would love hopefully 4 to 5 really close finishes. Like that is what we want. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped for the finals. I am so excited. I hope you guys are too. I can't wait for game 1 tonight. So we're going to do that. All right. Now, as I mentioned, I wanted to get into some bet stuff real quick as I'm getting out of here. I just want to say, I'll just tell you guys how I did it. So a couple weeks ago, I bet the Suns to make the Western Conference or to make the finals. This was when they were up 2-0. I know what it was. They were up 2-0 on the Nuggets. I was really mad because I was going to make the bet the day before when they were up 1-0 on the Nuggets. I fucking forgot to make the bet, and then I went down. My odds went down a little bit, but so they were up 2-0 on the Nuggets. I made the bet that they were going to make it to the finals. I was happy that it appeared that it was going all right, right? Phoenix is up 2-0 in the Western Conference Finals. Clippers are a comeback team. I know it. I was getting a little worried. I thought the Clippers had a chance to make a comeback. So I hedged it. This was my first time, I think, successfully hedging. I hedged it for only like $10, $20 or something, like $10, real low. But because I hedged the Clippers to win in 7 against my bigger bet on the Suns, because it would have broke even. So hypothetically speaking, if the Clippers would have came back and won in 7, I pretty much would have broke even on anything, which might take some fun out of it. But I mean, I still wanted the Suns to win, but I'm proud of myself because it was like one of my first successful hedges. I feel like because I did it right where there was no way I was going to completely be in the shit there. But then finally, I took a bet on the Bucks when they were 2-2. It was 2-2 in the series against the Hawks, and I liked the odds. I think it was plus 250 or something like that for the Bucks to win it all. I took them, and then I also took a bet for Bucks to win in 7, like a specific bet for Bucks to win in 7. Wanted to stick with my podcast prediction on here, but also I like the odds. I like the chances that I had there. So I got Bucks in 7. I have a betting interest on it, like I told you. And I'll probably be making some fun prop bets during all the finals games. Cause I mean, look, I love betting on basketball. I love watching basketball, but I like betting on it and making some fun, stupid bets. And we're winding down. We only got a couple more weeks of the NBA season. So that's kind of sad. And then we're going to get right into the NBA draft. Nothing for me to care about with the Bulls not really doing much. And then we're going to get into the Olympics. So there will still be some basketball to watch. There'll probably be the TBT tournament this summer. I know I got a friend who's actually playing in it. So shout out to everybody who's hooping there. So there'll still be some basketball to watch, but it's not the same. The NBA is coming to an end, and I'm getting sad here. Although it is weird because we're so used to the NBA being done in like the beginning of June. But last year the finals were in October, and this year they're at the end of July. So strange, but you know what it is. All right. Check out the music video for fourth quarter tonight. Make sure you, like, subscribe, do all that good jazz. Please subscribe to the podcast on however you listen to it. It means a lot. It really helps the show a lot. Go to passionparkent.com. Go to thedavidlopez.com for all that jazz. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the love on our new beautiful baby too. So shout out to you guys. You know what I'm saying? One love and enjoy the rest of your week.